Hello everyone, once again welcome to Alka's Space.
5 plus 3. Are you able to count it within just fraction of seconds, or you have to count it on your fingers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, or still thinking what should be like? And similarly, are you able to estimate these number of dots over here? Like, are you able to estimate in a glance that there are 7 dots approximately? Yeah, exactly, there are 7 dots. Or you just have to put a lot of pressure on your brain to count how many dots are there on this page. Most of you might be thinking, is that a problem to count 5 plus 3? Come on, a student of class 1 can count it very easily. 5 plus 3 is it? But this problem actually exists, and the problem with numbers, the problem with simple calculations, the problem with numeric processing is called as dyscalculia. Dyscalculia is a kind of learning disabilities. If you are not aware of the term learning disabilities, there is a complete video on the introduction of learning disabilities and one on the types of learning disabilities. You can click on the I button or go to the description box and find out the videos. But first, in this video, we'll concentrate on dyscalculia only. So, dyscalculia is the problem where the child particularly, or an individual finds it hard to count, finds it hard to recognize the numbers, finds it hard to have a basic number sense. It's hard for him to, differentiate between plus and this multiplication sign. He often gets confused with minus and division sign. He cannot differentiate between the greater than or lesser than sign. Not even this. If you'll ask a person with dyscalculia to tell the time from an analog clock, like you can see at my back, analog clock is like a war for a dyscalculic, because it includes times table. We have to multiply the numbers, and the child with dyscalculia is not good at this. And even if you present the child with with a digital clock, he or she can very well tell that it's suppose 10:35, but again he would fail to calculate that it is 25 minutes to 11. So this is how a dyscalculic behaves like in terms of mathematics. But let me stress on one important thing. Being poor at mathematics is not a synonym to being dyscalculic. There might be hundreds of reasons or any specific reason for a particular individual for being not good at mathematics, like having an ineffective teacher in the school, basics are not clear, the child is not at all interested in mathematics. But dyscalculia is something bigger, it is something complicated that is related to brain processing. So a child with dyscalculia finds it hard to recognize the numbers, to count, to have simple calculations, to even like suppose if we are given a number 2 and number 5, we are very easily able to visualize it on a scale or a number line, that like 2 will be here and 6. We can very easily find out the relationship that there are 3 numbers in between. But a child with dyscalculia will never be able to visualize, to imagine the numbers on a scale or a number line. This is how a dyscalculic child looks like. Before arriving at a conclusion that a child is having dyscalculia, please note that it is important to rule out any kind of vision or hearing related idea or any problem which you think the child can be suffering of. it is important to be sure that the child is not suffering from any hearing or vision related problem. Plus, let me repeat in this video also that a child with dyscalculia is independent of his or her intelligent level. The condition does not depend upon the IQ level of a child. So, learning disabled child, particularly a dyscalculic child, is of average and above average intelligence, and that child may succeed, may excel in other areas other than maths. But what is different about these children? Again, this is a brain related dysfunction. The brain is differently wired to process any kind of numeric information. The brain, our brain has so many areas which are responsible for different activities. We already know that. The numeric processing, the mathematics is the responsibility of this parietal lobes. Here, this side, we know that brain is divided into left and right hemisphere. So parietal lobes are here, and particularly this groove known as intraparietal sulcus is responsible for this kind of processing. So there is something different, something dysfunction at this area, particularly the intraparietal sulcus, which is related on the top and the back of the brain. Again, the gray matter volume is also related with this problem. The gray matter and white matter I have already discussed in the video of dyslexia, so you can refer to that video also. So a particularly dyscalculic child has problem with processing brain processing in these particular areas. And these children, these individuals find it so embarrassing to even go for shopping, because they just can't calculate the balance, they just can't calculate the change they can demand in return from restaurant waiter. And these children, these people, find it very embarrassing. They hesitate to go out for any kind of money related things because their brain is not wired for calculations. So again, this is the problem that is not related to intelligence. These individuals can lead a pretty normal life. So this is about a brief introduction about dyscalculia. In the next video, I'll discuss how to manage, how to treat the dyscalculic children at home and at school with simplest of techniques. Thank you so much for your time, and if you have liked the video, please do not forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you and have a good day.